Hey, quick weekly update for you. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. So we've got quite a few new cool projects going on, solar, containers, everything like usual. So let's flip around and take a look and get going. All right, so here's a blue 20-foot office. This was an ivory container. We painted it. So it's an RAL 5010. It's like a cobalt blue. This is going to deliver to the customer next week. I think they're sending their own truck. And this has got the easy open handle on it. So this is the interior finish, OSB, spray foam, and then we've got surface mount electrical. A lot of you guys ask why we do surface mount electrical. Well, it offers you flexibility in the future. You can always reconfigure any of this. If you do Romex, you're kind of stuck to what you have in the walls. Romex is cheaper and easier, but I like surface mount, especially for a lot of industrial applications. So couple of things I want to show you guys on this is, we frame 2x3 frame OSB, and then we're actually using OSB for the casing. And the window is locked into a 2x3 metal tube. You can see the screws here. Now for these windows not to leak, and these are the Performat, no, these are the Northview windows from Menards. You've got to make sure these vent holes are clear of any debris, dust, and it's very common to have debris and dust in there because you've got the rain coming in outside and going into this channel, and that has got to get out these vents right here. So you got to make sure all that stuff's clear, and I'll show you the Performax windows. But you guys also asked who builds these doors. We build these doors. This is a 2x3 tubing, 2-inch door, fireproof steel door. We weld the C channel on there. This is all us right here. There's your threshold. There's your seals. When you're installing the inboard seal, so the one on the hinge side away from the door side, don't want to fit this seal too tight because when that door comes in, it wants to pull this seal. So get your door closed and just get this seal butted up flush, and that pretty much goes for all those door seals. Breaker box. We put a six slot box in here. This is a 120 volt outlet. But if you want to go 220, all you do is change the plug on the outside, add one more wire, and you've got 240. Sorry, I said 220. 240, 220 also works, 230. I call it 240. And so if you're going to run a microwave, which is going to pull 1500 watts, it's only for 2 or 3 minutes. But if you're going to run a microwave, then 240 is advisable. But if you're just going to run a mini split, fridge, TVs, computers, then you can get away with 120 volt, 15 amp cord on this entire container, and that mini split barely runs. 2.5 inches of spray foam is R15, R17 on average. I will show videos and people say, oh, it's not 2 inches. Well, it's often more than 2 inches, and honestly, we probably spray too much, and spray foam is expensive, especially closed cell. So we don't want to be spraying more than 2 inches. You're not going to gain anything in these containers other than charging your customer more, or else we're not offering a good value. But when we spray foam the floor in the container, we're offering the best insulated containers on the market, bar none. So, and then we put a fire extinguisher in a lot of the commercial applications. Mini split remotes there, ready to go. And that's a 12,000 BTU Della. It's all Wi-Fi capable. You just get that app on your phone, and you can have that mini split fired up before you even get there. Leave it running all night, whatever you want to do. And that dehumidifies the container as well. So let's go in here and take a look. There's our office. I've done a few videos on it. Got a high cube stacked up there, deck. We still haven't finished that. Got my Tesla charger installed, and then the solar panel array is up. So I'm going to be charging my Tesla for free when I pull up to work. So that's pretty cool. Show you the inverter in here. So I did not know the Grow Watt was only 150 volt max PV input, and you solar guys will know what I'm talking about. So I'm switching to the EG4 because we ran all of our panels at like 300 volts. I don't know why they would make a monster inverter at 150 volt PV max input. It makes no sense to me. So anyway, switching that out, I'll just sell it. It's brand new. I'm not really going to lose money on it. Thing I do like about the EG4 is it's got knockouts in the bottom. So you have no exposed wires, a lot cleaner install. This thing is humongous. There's my hand. It's probably like twice as big as this Growatt. The weird thing about the Growatt inverter is all of the wires on the bottom are exposed. So we ran this box to hide everything, so there's a couple of things about this Growatt I just don't like. I mean, it's way cheaper than the EG4. But yeah, so we're going to eliminate this box and just run all of this conduit straight into the inverter. It's just a way cleaner install. And then the Tigo are the panel optimizers. So if you get some shade on some panels, the Tigo keeps everything running at maximum efficiency. And those are all the QR codes for all the Tigos. So yeah, we're excited. On the outside of the building, I hate drilling holes in the building. So we ran all the conduit using the existing metal screws that were there from the building install. So the only new holes we drilled were to come through the wall with the PV wires, and that's about it. So that's that. I'll sell that inverter. We got 4 offices in here. I think a bunch of these are already sold. And also check out ironplanet.com, best auction site, Ritchie Brothers, Iron Planet, best auction site for equipment, everything online, just an awesome site. Really good customer service if you're a buyer or seller. Really love Iron Planet, Ritchie Brothers. You can buy equipment on there without worrying about it. I bought a loader from Auction Time some time ago. They were horrible. The loader showed up, complete piece of junk. They basically said, skedaddle, get out of here, we're not going to help you. The seller was completely dishonest. Auction Time, they're located in Nebraska. They are horrible. Do not ever buy anything from Auction Time. The worst. And on the other end of the spectrum is Iron Planet, is the best. So I sell offices on Iron Planet. They come by here and inspect it, measure it. All the guys that work there are great. So highly recommend. So one thing we've changed here on the offices is that drip rail. We are integrating that drip rail into the door build. It's better, it's cleaner. We just do that on the bench when we're welding the door frame up, which that door frame is what I showed you guys in that other office. Your other option on drip rails are these right here, and this is not the right width, but you screw this in over the top of the door, and that keeps the water from running down all the cracks and crevices on the door. But what's even better about this channel style drip rail is if you walk out the door, you're not going to get rain dripping on you off that drip rail. So not only keeps the rain from dripping on you or water, but it keeps the water from going in all these cracks and crevices. So here's a pretty standard configuration office-wise for us. Door here, window there, leaving up room for a desk here. We are now using these double strikers. We kind of moved away from the other strikers. This keeps everything aligned a little bit better for us. Very tricky to tap and drill all these screws, materials, everything. It's just, I can't tell you how tricky strikers are, and walk doors for that matter. Just very labor intensive, highly skilled stuff going on. You can slap strikers in, you can slap screws in, but to have them flush and right and not stripped out, it's tricky. I'll just leave it at that. So 2x3 framing, and you guys roasted me for calling this a horizontal stud, blah, 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 blah. You know, this is a top plate, I guess. We put that vertical top plate on the top of the horizontal top plate, and then we bring each stud in here one by one and lock these frames out to the outboard side of the container. That leaves a little gap so you can run Romex, and then we screw those into the bottom, so it'd be the bottom plate. And a lot of people were saying whaler is what they call this top. I don't frame all day, and I've been framing for 20 years. I know how to, wire an electric go-kart. I know how to wire a solar system. I can kind of run a 3D printer. Like, I know how to sell containers, kind of build websites. Like, I don't know everything. And we got to run the business, manage employees too. So sorry if I didn't know the exact terminology for framing that you guys wanted. But this sort of framing keeps you from drilling into the container anywhere. And no, you're not going to get any sag on 2x3s on the ceiling for that kind of run with OSB or shiplap. And we do not use sheetrock or drywall. So you can kind of see how this is coming together compared to the office that was outside. So if this gets surface mount electrical, this is ready for spray foam now. So here's the inside of a 2x3 frame with a window in. Our framing meets up with that 2x3 window tube perfectly when that frame is plumb, if you set the 2x3 window frame with like a 7/8 of an inch reveal right here. And so that all comes out perfect. So what sets your frame is the top of the frame goes to the top corner post of the container. That leaves you about a 1/2 inch gap off the corrugation down here. And if you use 2x3 tubing for windows, which covers most windows and leaves you a nice caulk line, I'll show that to you. If your frame is plumb, it meets that metal frame perfectly. So that is the best way we found to work out everything. And then we put the window in, we cut the nailing flange off, and then we put the window in, and that leaves us a really nice little sealant line right here. You can use polyurethane or silicone, whichever one you want. But that's the best way I found to do it. So if you were to weld this 2x3 frame in a little bit, it would be bumping the frame, the interior frame inside. So you'd have to notch the frame out. And if it were sticking out too far, it just starts to look weird out here, too much of a reveal. So that is the best way we found to do the windows. This one, here's our other favorite configuration. This has got 2 little things on it. Black windows, and then 2 windows on one side, door on one side. And I love the black windows. Those are the Performax windows from Menards. They're kind of a new product. I love those windows with the slate gray. Black does not look good with the ivory, but it looks awesome with the slate gray. And then we got a camo container down here that we're going to put black windows in. And then we don't put any windows on the back side. And so this one, a lot of people like to put desks back here or whatever, or this is facing a building. So you've got everything on this side, and I like both of these configurations a lot. So there's the black windows, there's the white window. So here's silicone. And if this not getting painted, silicone's fine, but we got to use polyurethane in a lot of instances because we got to paint it. So you get polyurethane, like right here is polyurethane. All right, next one. Another regular configuration, window, door, window. Now we cut out one of these windows in 4 minutes on Friday or Wednesday with the skinny cutting wheel. And here's the precision we are looking for. That's about a 30 seconds or 0 gap. And that's just beautiful. And then we tack it from the inside so that when you come seal this, you're not bumping any welds. And then you get your 7/8 reveal, you push your corrugation around. You know, usually 2 guys are doing this, but you get your window plumb to the corrugation and edge of the container. Your bottom corrugation is going to walk around, so you get all that set. You can set one corner, set this corner, however you want to do it. But basically, this thing needs to be straight with the correct reveal, and then square in the hole, and the frame needs to be square to start with. So what's sort of simple is not too simple if you're going to do it at this level of precision and quality. So here's the other side. Now you might think it's easy to cut that level of precision and build that frame to fit in that hole with that level of precision. Not easy, a lot of practice. The plasma cutter is just not going to do that. There's no way. So here's the camo container. If you guys are interested in this, let me know. We can hold it back for you. But we're going to have 2 big 60 by 48 black windows and then a walk door. And then we are going to put like 4 bunk beds on the back, a cabinet, and it's going to get frame spray foam and then pine or like cedar interior finish. So it should be pretty cool. But if you guys are interested in that container, let me know. It's not sold yet, so we can kind of customize it for you. And that goes for anything we're building. And then there's the solar panel array. And that's a landscape design, and those are ground screws. We screwed those in with a skid steer. So pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. And then there's a shipping container roof. We're not installing that one, but we sold it to a customer. We do have one to install. Probably not going to be that fun. So that's it for this week. You guys got questions, comments, let me know. And as always, hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving and have a good weekend.